school makeup tutorial. I'm kind of squishing together middle school and high school, so you can take some steps out, put some steps in, you know, whatever you want. This is just kind of like my twist on it. It is all drugstore, so every single thing I'm using is from the drugstore, so it is pretty affordable, and that's my intro, so let's get into it. For foundation, I'm going to be using the CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous, which is my favorite foundation at the moment. It's only around $6. I have a full review on this I will link right over here where I'm holding it. And then you can also use the Rimmel Match Perfection. I have a full review on the Rimmel Match Perfection as well, and this is only about $5. And then another product you could use if you want lighter coverage, Maybelline Dream Pure BB Cream is a great option. I have a full review on this as well, so you can check the description box for all these reviews, or you should see like a little box around here, so you can just click on that little box and it'll take you to that review if you're interested. I'm going to use the Maybelline Baby Skin Primer, which I actually really have been liking lately. It will help with pores and just kind of help your makeup apply a lot easier, so I'm just applying that to my T-zone area. Then you can go in with your foundation. Now, pretty much all of the ones I just showed you, you can use your fingers to apply them if you don't want to use a brush. I'm going to use my knockoff beauty blender, which I love. This one's only $4.99. You can buy it at Bed Bath & Beyond or Harmon, depending on what you have near you. I'm just going to spray it with some water. I'm just going to fast forward through this so that you guys don't have to sit here and watch me just push foundation onto my skin. So I'll be right back and show you which concealer I'm using. I just applied my light layer of foundation with my beauty blender, and obviously you can see I have a lot of acne scarring, like lots, so I'm going to go in with a concealer. I'm going to be using two different concealers today. I'm going to use the Rimmel Wake Me Up underneath my eyes, so you can get it for $6 on Amazon, or something that's very similar is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Dark Circle Treatment. I'm going to use this on any spots on my face. Even though it's under eye concealer, I find it really nice for on the face. I'm just going to dot that right here. This is where most of my darkness is, right there, and then just a little bit on the edges. And so I did get this little tip wet, and I'm just going to blend that out. Now I'm going to go in with this Instant Age Rewind all over my face, but like in certain areas where I have extra scarring. I always put concealer on after foundation because I feel like I'm wearing less makeup that way, because if you put concealer on first and you cover all the things that need to be covered and then put foundation on top of it, I feel like you're moving around the concealer you just put on as well as layering up extra stuff, because I feel like if you put foundation on first, then add concealer to whatever the foundation didn't cover, so you're putting on less makeup that way. Maybe it's just me, but I just prefer doing the foundation first. So that's it kind of for my base, and then I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Fit Me Powder just to set everything with like a nice fluffy brush. You obviously don't have to do this step unless you have more oily skin. You know, I have pretty combo skin, so I'm just going to do that. And also I find that because this powder has a smidge of coverage, it kind of helps everything blend a little bit more. Obviously, if you're running too low on time, you don't have to do this. You could always bring a mattifying powder or some oil absorbing white things with you. And next we're going to go in with the brows. Now, brows are something I never did in high school. Horrible, I know. Honestly, it just helps so much. So I'm just going to brush mine up, and I'm going to fill them in with the Maybelline Ultra Brow Brush On Color in Light Brown. And also Milani makes a really good brow palette. If you prefer a pencil, the green pencil from Maybelline is supposed to be really good, but I prefer a powder just because I find it to be a bit more natural. You want to do most of the product at the tail just to really define the arch and stuff like that, and then you just want to put a little bit in the front. Okay, then we're going to go in with the eye primer. I'm just going to use the e.l.f. Eyelid Primer. This one doesn't work that great for me, to be honest. I have really oily eyelids, but most people this does work good on, so usually this should be fine. It's only $1. Now this is something I just bought recently, and it is the Rimmel Scandaleyes Waterproof Eyeshadow Stick. You could just use something like this and blend it in with your finger and be good to go, but I wanted to kind of go all out. It's like a champagne-y color. Now I'm going to apply that all over my lid, up into the crease. So we're just going to blend that in. I'm going to use this new palette I got from Wet n Wild. It's called Smoke and Melrose. It is so pretty. I find it kind of like a dupe to the Naked 3. You might disagree with me, but it has a nice shimmery kind of rose gold color here, a mauve tone light pink up here, and then like two shimmery browns right here. So I really like this. If you don't want this, or you haven't found it or something because it is pretty new, then you could always use the Wet n Wild Comfort Zone, or any of the Maybelline quads are really nice quality from the drugstore. I'm going to use the matte mauve color right there. I'm going to apply that in the crease. I'm also going to take a little flat brush with that same color and bring it underneath the eye. And this is a step I know a lot of people don't like, putting eyeshadow underneath their eye, so obviously you could skip this, but I like to have that little bit of definition. Then I'm going to go in with the bottom color right here. It says crease. I don't think these are labeled properly, to be honest. This is like a shimmery rose gold type shade. I'm going to pick that up with a flat brush and just pat that right onto my lid from like the inner corner to the center. with the tip of that brush and with the same color and use that on the inner corner and kind of drag it underneath. I'm also going to take, these two shades look exactly the same to me, although I think one is a little bit lighter than the other. You guys can tell me what you think. But I'm going to take my same fluffy brush and just tap that really, really lightly just to deepen up the crease in the outer V like a little bit. You obviously can skip this step if you think that this is where you want to stop. The key to a good look is literally just blending. Go in with my Comfort Zone palette with this really dark definer shade. It's like a black with some red shimmer in it, and I'm going to just define my lash line with that. You obviously can use any liner that you want, so I'm just going to take a angled brush and just push that into the lash line. As you can see, just like look at the difference, how much open my eye looks, more defined and everything than this one. And then something I would recommend to anyone who feels like they always have really red eyes, you're tired, whatever your issues, you're staying up late writing a paper, studying, whatever, take a nude or white liner. I prefer nude just because it's more natural looking. The Rimmel Scandaleyes is a great option from the drugstore. It's just a nice skin tone type shade, and you just want to take that in your lower waterline just to lighten things up and brighten everything. Now I'm going to go in and curl my eyelashes and apply some of the Maybelline Lash Stiletto. This is an amazing lengthening mascara. I love this one. It is waterproof, so it will last all day long, and it's just my favorite. And if you like volume, then maybe try the falsies because that one's really good for volume, but this one holds a curl really, really well. To apply mascara properly, you don't just want to go from root to tip. You want to wiggle it back and forth. Go from the root, get really in there, and wiggle left to right, and then up. Face, I'm going to use my bronzer from Jane. This is just a matte, really dark bronzer. I really like this one. It's really great. I'm just going to use a big fluffy brush. I'm not contouring or anything. I think contouring can look a bit harsh when you're young, and it kind of just makes you look older, and nobody wants to look older. So I'm just taking a big fluffy brush with that and applying it actually to my cheeks. Pretty much, I just apply this everywhere to give myself a more bronzed look. I just like the way that it looks. You don't want to forget to take your bronzer down your neck because that can just look insane if you don't do that. A lot of people probably won't use blush. I don't know why. I just find a lot of people don't like blush. I love blush. It gives you a really healthy glow. I prefer cream blushes, and normally I would use a steel convertible color, but because this is drugstore, the Maybelline Dream Bouncy blushes are great. This is the one in number 5, Fresh Pink, and I'm just going to take my brush. You could obviously use your fingers for something like this as well, and just apply that to the apples. Now, most people just take their blush on the backs of their cheeks, but I feel like that's another kind of older look. I don't know why. I always take my blush right underneath my eye. I know people say that's the worst thing to do, but honestly, if you were just at the beach and you got a sunburn, where would your sunburn be? Back here or on your cheeks? On your cheeks. And I am like blush crazy. I take out my nose and everything just because I look like I just got some sun. But you can put blush on however you want. If you're not into cream blushes like this, although I do find they last a bit longer on my skin, the Wet n Wild blushes are amazing. This is the one in Mellow Wine. It's like my favorite one. It's like a really nice color. It looks good on every skin tone. The last step is lips. Now you can obviously use whatever you like, but I really like the Revlon lip butter. You could just use a gloss or like a baby lips, which I love. That's probably what I use most days, but I wanted to give you guys another option. I really like this one for all the seasons. It's like a really nice mauve-y plum shade almost. It is the one in Pink Truffle. And I just like to tap it in instead of like swiping it on. I like to take my ring finger and just pat it in so it kind of gives a staining effect. And then you can always apply a gloss or whatever you like on top of that. And something I might do in the end, at the end of my look, if I'm feeling a bit oily, I would just take my Rimmel Stay Matte powder and just dust that with a big fluffy brush just all over my T-zone.
Ooh, girl, shining like a Fifth Avenue diamond. They don't make it like you used to. You're never going out of style. Ooh, pretty baby, this one might have gone crazy.
That is the completed look. I really hope you guys enjoy it. It might be too heavy for some of you or too light for others. Obviously adjust it, like I said, to however you want to wear your makeup. I just thought I'd give you guys another option because I know there's a million tutorials like this out there. All my back to school videos I've ever done will be in the description box. I will have my recent back to school outfits video linked right here for you guys for a couple of seconds, so you can click on that as well in the description box if you were watching on a mobile device. That was just some outfit ideas I thought you guys might enjoy for the first week back at school. I also have back to school advice video, which is kind of more more like serious and like a deep video. So if you want to check that out, it'll be linked right here and in the description box. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more videos from me, please subscribe with the little button over here, somewhere around that area. And don't forget to give a thumbs up if you liked it and you want me to do more tutorials. I feel like I don't do enough makeup tutorials. And I think that's pretty much it. Go check out my blog, my Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff is obviously in the description box, like always. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! Whole thing-majig. That zoomed in. Whoa. I'm gonna take these little brushes out because you don't need those. Those are stupid. Bomb.com.